I'm
What is up, Joe?
What's up, man? It's been a long week, dude. I'm feeling tired, man.
Dude, I woke up this morning, made Chica breakfast, got her going with coffee, went to the couch, fell asleep. She had bought the dogs all these brand new toys, and when I woke up, they were all ripped to shreds, dude. Just crap everywhere. The stuffing all over the place, and a chew toy that was in about 1,000,000 pieces.
A lot of mess to clean up. Yeah, we are live now. I checked.
Yeah.
We're live. We're just waiting for the Necios to join us. And did you see that they have like yard signs now that you can go and apply for if you're pro Project Marvel?
Yeah.
Maybe you put one in the yard. What do you think?
The sad thing is that the sign doesn't look that good. It's so cluttered. It's like 9,000 words on a sign. Just say for Project Marvel, vote A and B.
Vote yes.
Vote yes. Just leave it at that. Instead, it's like a slogan and
maybe I should put
all
another
wordy.
Yard sign.
Joe, our Shut Up Gina's shirts need to come out quick, Joe.
Shut up, Gina.
Joe, I'm telling you, man. I've had 5 or 6 people reach out to me, ask me when those shirts are coming out.
They want the Shut Up Gina shirt. Ay.
My niece is wanting to make them on her own.
Yeah.
She goes, if you're guys aren't going to do it, we'll do it.
No, we'll do it. We're going to do it. Picks of Wemby in the gym and meeting Harry Potter. Pics. You don't see no video. It's not hard to put video up of Wemby working out. Video or it didn't happen.
Where the dreams don't fade from the river walk nights to the Alamo shade. We rise together through the highs and the lows. Area 210. Oh, it's the life that we chose.
What's up, San Antonio? What's going on, South Texas? This is the Area 210 podcast powered by PF Chang Stock and Terra. My name is Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. It is a Tuesday. Week 1 of the NFL is in the books. We're going to get ready and start talking about week 2 because week 2 features the Dallas Cowboys taking on the New York Giants. It features the Houston Texans taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Big games up ahead.
Kansas City versus Eagles. Don't forget
Kansas City and the Eagles. It's a very, very good game as well. We're going to take a look back in time at week 1. Some of the surprises from week 1, things that we're looking forward to in week 2 because the season is up and running. Cowboy fans are very excited. I saw this from RJ Ochoa of Blocking the Boys. He was like, Cowboy fans should be excited that you guys are facing Russell Wilson this week as opposed to Jaxson Dart, who the Giants drafted at number 25 in the first round earlier this year out of Ole Miss. Because Russell Wilson, out of all the quarterbacks that played, the 32 quarterbacks that played this past week, the one that looked the worst was Russell Wilson. Arguably the worst. Okay. The worst one not wearing a Saints uniform, should I say. So that being said, should Cowboy fans be excited to be taking on a Russell Wilson-led team? And part of me thinks that Russell Wilson, man, he's ruining his reputation, man.
He's washed, bro.
The guy was a bona fide Hall of Famer a few years ago. And now, I don't know, man. Wemby sighting, apparently hanging out with Hakeem Olajuwon. We'll get into that.
No mames con Wemby, bro. They can't put a 5-second video of him up. Like, how hard is it? I know there's people around Wemby that got the phone there. I mean, you can't put a video of Wemby out on TikTok, bro.
It's secret. No. It's secret. You can't show what he's working out on.
He ain't doing
nothing. Footwork.
He's shooting a commercial. He's probably shooting a commercial.
What commercial with Hakeem Olajuwon? How is Hakeem Olajuwon a commercial?
It's a commercial. It's a bit, bro. He's not doing that. No pasa nada con Wemby, bro.
I can see that argument with Kevin Garnett because Garnett, is somebody who sells
product. It's a commercial.
But Hakeem Olajuwon, come on, man. No one buys Hakeem Olajuwon products. The Nigerian Nightmare. No one buys that. But there are reports out there that one of the Powerball winning tickets of $1.7 billion, 2 winning tickets, one of them sold in the San Antonio area,
How
Don't
much
know if
is that after you get a cash? Take it out all in cash.
for it's a split ticket, it'd be just under 400 million after the taxes and all that stuff because it was going to be around 800 million after taxes and all that for the lump sum if you
Yeah.
had the one winning ticket, but there was two. One of the tickets was sold in Fredericksburg, Texas. There was $1 million ticket sold in Austin. There are reports out there from Barstool Sports that one of the big winners, maybe not the big winner, but maybe that $1 million winner was actually a UT Austin student. So UT is talking about this, and they're declining comment on it, say, "Hey, we don't know anything about it." But apparently, somebody was an idiot, went on social media and said, "I'm one of the winners," and showed
Oh
his
no.
ticket. Yeah. So,
What a
but
dumbass. Just stay anonymous.
it didn't appear as though they won the big deal. But again, somebody in Fredericksburg off Highway 290, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
was one of the big winners when it comes to it.
You know what,
Oh,
Mike? If I had a lump sum, right, cashed out, right, and they gave me 400 grand,
yeah.
you know what I would do? I would go to Michael Jimenez so I could flip that and make more money, Mike. So if you want
Money,
to make
baby.
more money, call Mike.
There you go. 210-508-0369. 19 years in the financial advising business. 210-508-0369. I handle retirement accounts, investment accounts, life insurance, long-term care, disability, auto, homeowners insurance. Give me a call. 210-508-0369. You're getting good at the segue, Joe.
I
You know,
am, man.
I saw some stories also to get into on mysa.com. Apparently HEB is cracking down on those bringing pets into stores.
No dogs in the store.
Well, I mean, they're like service animals we get, but people bringing in their dogs that are not service animals. Nothing pisses me off more than that, Joe. Someone who brings their poodle because I just can't live without my dog. That's not a
That's like
service
you
animal.
bringing the black lab into the HEB.
Exactly. And it's so funny. Chica and I were at the airport about 2 weeks ago going to Miami, right? And we get there at like 5 in the morning for a 7 a.m. flight. They have a Chick-fil-A open inside IAH, right? The one of the Houston airports.
Yeah.
We sit down at this one table, and because there's only a few seats out there, we're kind of sharing with somebody else. There was this one lady there, and I say lady, she's probably a young girl, probably 24, 25 years old, talking about her feelings and like her emotions and this gets me riled up and this makes me sad and I get triggered by this and I get triggered by that and all that stuff. And Chica looked at me and goes, "I hate people and their feelings." And she just gets so mad because there are people who've had hard lives. There are people who've had hard lives who've been abused or been abandoned or whatnot, and they're fine. He goes, this girl over here just complaining and talking about how I need my service animal and all that stuff. And she's like, Chica said something to me the other day, which I thought was kind of funny. She says, "What's ruining the world right now is therapy." She goes, "Go get some sun and go work out and you'll be fine." F you and your feelings is basically what she was saying.
F you and your feelings. We need a
Dude.
shirt that says that. Chica says F your feelings.
It was so funny, dude. That girl was just sobbing and all that stuff. And we're like, "Oh my God." She goes, and then he said something that really hurt my feelings. And then, oh my God, Chica can't stand it. She's like, "Man up, man up."
Yeah.
So find that to be funny. But yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later on. The service animals at HEB. Should HEB clamp down on the puppies going into HEB? Joe, how you doing this week, man?
I'm doing good. Just tired, man. It's been a long week. A lot of things happening here at work lately. A lot of stuff. I can't say what it is, but we've been busy.
Yeah.
We've been really busy. So I'm just tired, man. It's only Tuesday.
It's only Tuesday. It's the calm before the storm when it comes to what I do for a living, because typically October, November, and December are the biggest months in financial advising because people get their benefits at work. They start looking forward to the future. They start looking forward to the new year. Believe it or not, Joe, we're about 3.5 months away from New Year's Eve. Kind of
We're
crazy.
already in September? October is going to be coming in here really fast. And before you know it, you're already going to start seeing what, Mike? The turkey.
No,
the commercials for Thanksgiving, dude.
I was at Costco the other day over the weekend. The Christmas stuff is up.
Oh yeah,
All
no man, they didn't waste no time, bro.
I went to Bed Bath and Beyond. All the pumpkin spice, this and the other is out. All
I
the
hate
pumpkin
that shit,
candles.
dude. I can't stand that pumpkin spice crap, dude. I want nothing pumpkin spice. I don't want to smell no pumpkin spice.
Oh,
You know, the
you
only
know,
thing that I do like, and my little niece pointed this out. She told me the other day because we went into Hobby Lobby, right? And she goes, Uncle, doesn't it smell so good in Hobby Lobby? And I'm like, no lie, dude, it does. And it's because of those scented pine cones, bro.
yeah. So, women like to decorate. Not, I mean, some do, right? They
Yeah.
have like their fall decor, their winter decor, and all that stuff. And I'm just along for the ride, dude. Really, I'm just happy. I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
I feel like talk about those puppies out there. I kind of feel like I got adopted at the pound, right?
Every time you say puppies, it reminds me of
Rescue human.
It reminds me of Jerry the King Lawler. He would refer to the puppies as woman's bosoms. You know, the puppies,
The
the
puppies.
puppies. And every time you say the puppies, I get flashback
That,
to Jerry the King Lawler.
that's a flashback, not a flashback, man. Very, very nice. Let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys for a minute, man, because
Yeah.
they are 0-1 going into week 2. And when we were looking at the schedule for the Cowboys, you and I both said that's about a 6 to 7 win team, maybe a 5 to 7 win team. But offensively, they looked pretty good the other day against the Eagles when they lost Thursday night on NBC to the Eagles. It was a close game. Dak Prescott looked healthy. He even ran for a first down. He seemed to be a little bit more mobile than pass.
He ran, didn't pull the meat off the bone.
George Pickens going off and extending plays out. I mean, he didn't have the most number of yards, but there were penalties in his direction because of his route running, right?
Pickens looked good. Pickens looked good out there. He was better than I expected. You know?
Yeah. Javonte Williams, a running back, looked better than expected.
True that.
So the
I'm like,
Cowboys,
the Cowboys can run, Mike.
I mean, he had 2 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott looked solid. Wasn't making a lot of bad decisions. Then you take a look at the offensive line seemed to hold up a little bit. The defensive side of the ball still struggling. Defensive side of the ball still can't handle the run. But then again, was it because Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts were on the other side? Or was it because they just can't handle the run to begin with? But you're showing us right here a tweet from Front Office Sports on Twitter, on X, saying the Eagles win over the Cowboys drew 31.9 million viewers before the weather delay on NBC and Peacock. It was on pace to be the most watched NFL game ever before the 65-minute severe thunderstorm delay. Again, lots of things going on with that. Cowboys are the most watched team in the NFL. The Eagles are very, very popular. The Eagles are Super Bowl champions. You have a division rivalry going on. It's the first game of the NFL season. I mean, don't get me wrong. If they had played the Jaguars and Panthers, there would have been a lot of people watching. But you put 2 marquee teams out there, you're gonna get ratings.
That's a big draw.
And it was also a close game. And then also the drama, the whole thing about Jalen Carter being thrown out of the game before he plays one snap.
Oh, God.
And Twitter blows up. People are probably calling people, dude, did you see Dak got spat on?
Who spit first?
I bet you millions of people watched that game who were kind of indifferent because of the whole drama involving Dak Prescott and Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter, by the way, is not going to be suspended. And in fact, apparently, everyone was like under this foregone conclusion that he's going to be suspended. I read somewhere on ESPN that not one player in NFL history has ever been suspended for spitting. And that if anything, it's time served because he missed an entire game already.
Yeah.
So Jalen Carter, apparently they say that the punishment was in-house, that you're not going to see anything from the Eagles, and the Eagles are not going to talk about it any further. Eagles 1-0 taking on the Chiefs this weekend. So it could be
Super Bowl champions. It's Chiefs.
Super Bowl champion.
Not Chiefs, but Eagles versus Chiefs. Super Bowl rematch there. Who do you got?
Yeah, and this game being played in Kansas City, Eagles favored to win this game. Imagine a Patrick Mahomes team starting off 0-2.
But the big question, Mike, is Taylor Swift going to be in attendance?
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, because Jason Kelsey will be there as well, along with Travis. So it'll be a big game.
How many seconds do you think they're going to give her this time? You know, everybody complains they show her for 10 or 20 seconds. That's too long.
Well, not as much as normal because I don't think the Eagles are. I don't think the Chiefs are going to win that game. I think the Eagles are the much better team. I know backs against the wall and all that stuff, but the Eagles are the better team. And whether people like it or not, she draws eyes to the NFL, eyes that weren't there before. Look at the New Heights
Yeah.
podcast. The New Heights podcast, right? One of the top podcasts in all of the United States. It drew massive numbers when she was on a couple of weeks ago. People
You
love her,
know what?
people hate her.
Look at what Sam Salinas is saying. And I saw something on the X about this. It says, what about Lamar Jackson? Is he getting suspended? The fan is apparently being banned from games. And that's the thing.
Lamar Jackson should not be suspended.
The fan that was heckling and started the altercation, they identified the fan, and the fan is going to be banned for life. Not going to be able to go to any of these games any longer. And I think that's a harsh punishment, but it sends a clear message, that this type of behavior isn't going to be tolerated. Because
Well,
think about what will happen, Mike. I mean, does the NFL want a Malice in the Palace kind of episode?
No, I get that, but the fact
You know?
so some people might not know what's going on. What happened after the game? The Bills beat the Ravens 41-40. A massive collapse by the Ravens on Sunday Night Football, and as the players are leaving, the way it's so narrow, the way Buffalo Stadium is, that the Baltimore players have to go by the stands to make their way to the tunnel, right? So the distance between the player and the fan is a foot, 2 feet tops.
Yeah, because
And
it's
so
an
you
old
had it-
stadium.
It is an old stadium. You had a fan from a Bills fan reach over and slap the helmet of one of the Ravens players. And
Yeah.
it wasn't a love tap. It wasn't a hey, good game, because I'm sure that wouldn't have been that big of a deal. It was a straight up slap,
Yeah.
right? You see Lamar Jackson and another player get pissed off and put hands on
yeah.
the person who did the hit, right?
Yeah, the one who did the slap. Yeah.
I'm sorry. That is still a man. That I don't care if they're athletes or whatnot. That is still a man. They did not go into the stands. The stands came to them, and therefore they should have the right to defend themselves. So I have no problem with Lamar Jackson.
How is that
doing what
any
he did.
different if you're at a bar, Mike, and you're just walking, going back to your seat, and some guy just slaps you on the back of the head? Do you have the right to defend yourself? Of course you do.
Right. Exactly.
You
do.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they did anything above and beyond what should have been done. I think that the players did exactly what they were supposed to do. They got the guy, because what would have happened, Joe, if they had just ignored it? He would have done that to another player down the line, right?
Well, it sends a message. If you're going to go ahead and come at us, expect some backlash. While there might not be a physical altercation, you being able to go up there and defend yourself and be vocal,
Okay.
that's your prerogative. You're not going to pull the guy out of the stands and beat the hell out of him.
Yeah, Jesse A is correcting us, saying that it happened after the Hopkins TD. Either way, doesn't
Yeah.
matter when it happens. I mean, thank you for the correction there, but it doesn't matter where it happens. It's one of those things where you don't touch the player. What's the point?
Yeah.
What is the point?
And look at Sam
but-
Salinas. It was straight up. What did the 5 fingers say to the face?
Slap. So either way, it just is what it is when it comes to Lamar Jackson. I'm not upset with him at all. I don't think he should be suspended. I don't think he should be fined. He did nothing wrong in my eyes when it comes to it all. Cowboy fans seem to be pretty excited about the fact that they're playing a Giants team that has Russell Wilson at quarterback. I'm going to read off to you Russell Wilson's stats, because this is a guy that is supposedly headed for the Hall of Fame at some point, right? He's a Super Bowl winning champion, should have won multiple times, but he has been just dog trash, dog crap the last 2 or 3 years, and he's still collecting a check. And they refuse to bench him because, well, that's Russell Wilson. They refuse to bench him because he is somebody who's a name, he's a contract, and it's just awful. Look at his stats from last week. 17 for 37. That's 46% accuracy, Joe. An NFL quarterback at 46% accuracy. 168 yards, no touchdowns. He did rush for 44. The Giants only scored 6 points. They lost to the Commanders 21-6. New York Giant fans, especially the talking heads on ESPN, because I mean that's a New York media market. You know, the Stephen A. Smiths and the Mike Greenbergs of the world, and all of those from First Take and all that are all pissed off because they're like, give the ball to Jaxson Dart. Jaxson Dart drafted out of Ole Miss, number 25 pick in the draft this past offseason. They want him to take the helm. Is it too soon to get rid of Russell Wilson, who's new to the team? Is it too soon?
That's, the problem is you look at the quarterback position, right, for the Giants. And before, Giants fans were complaining about what? Daniel Jones.
Right, who goes off and has a fantastic game for the Colts.
Right. They're saying he's garbage, he's washed. They should have never paid him the money. And like you said, goes on to the Colts and what? Has a great game, right? Looks good. Russell Wilson, when he was playing over there in Denver, he was just a mere shell of what he was with the Sea Chickens, right? The Seahawks.
Right.
Now it comes over here, right? With the Giants. You're going to kind of be thinking this is going to be the last hurrah for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's washed, man. He's not anywhere near the quarterback he used to be. And you're putting him on a bad Giants team. That's a recipe for disaster. I mean, at this point, the Giants, I mean, what are they going to do? Do you just, the coach went ahead and said, you know what? I'm going to run with Russell Wilson because we have a rookie QB. All right. They named him the starter for game 1. They named him the starter for game 2 now, right? They're going to face the Cowboys. At what point does the head coach finally just pull the plug on him and just make him sit on the bench and just go with the rookie QB and say, you know what, kid, let's see what you got?
I can see why some people would think it's too early because that is a big name. And maybe Jaxson Dart's not ready. He is a rookie. He was somebody that a lot of people thought that Shadur Sanders was going to be picked in the first round, but Jaxson Dart, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. People like Jaxson Dart. In fact, I liked him the most out of all the rookie quarterbacks. Maybe he's just not ready. You look at Russell Wilson, 10-time Pro Bowler. He won a Super Bowl. Also had one of the most infamous interceptions thrown in Super Bowl history against the Patriots, so he should have won twice. After this season, if he plays decently this year, he'll have 50,000 yards passing. He's going to be a Pro Bowler. It's just one of those weird things that no one ever, in the last 5, 6, 7 years, has ever considered him to be elite. Like ever since he threw that interception to the Patriots in the Super Bowl at the 1-yard line when they should have given it to Marshawn Lynch, he hasn't been as good, man. He just hasn't. Jaxson Dart is the future of the team for the New York Giants.
All right.
And they should be excited about that, man, because the guy has an arm. He has a bit of a cannon. Played for USC and played for Ole Miss.
And he's
two
young,
programs that are known for producing quarterbacks.
And he's young. Russell Wilson's old as F. He has knowledge. He has experience. But he just ain't got it no more, man.
But he also has one of the best wide receivers in all of the NFL, and Malik Neighbors. And he's got to get Neighbors the ball, man.
What does the coach tell Russell? What's the game plan? Get Neighbors the ball.
Just get Neighbors the ball. It was like watching the Vikings last night, how frustrating that was, because it was like, dude, doesn't this guy know that Justin Jefferson's running down the field?
Caleb Williams, throw an accurate pass, my brother.
Throw an accurate pass, but the dude from the Vikings, man, who couldn't find anybody out there, much less Justin Jefferson, for like the better part of 3 quarters out there. But it's one of those things where, what is better for a team, to have a grizzled vet or to have the young guy? We saw Aaron Rodgers go out there and turn back the clock and throw 4 touchdowns for week 1, getting the Steelers a victory. But some teams need to turn the corner and just give the keys off to the young guy. I would hate to be the fan of a team cheering on Russell Wilson this late in his career, dude. Russell Wilson, as Alex Noriega points out right now, just outright sucks. But last night, it was a battle between 2 young quarterbacks, Caleb Williams against J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy, technically a second-year player in the NFL, but for all
Yep.
intents and purposes is a rookie because he got injured in the preseason last year. He was supposed to be the starter last year. Instead, it went to Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold led them to a 14-3 record. Got bounced in the first round of the playoffs. Darnold was, what's his name, Joe? Gone.
Gone.
They still wanted to give the keys of the car to J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy looked like a deer in headlights for 3 quarters yesterday, but then somehow magically puts up 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, goes on to win 27-24 over the Chicago Bears, because the Bears be the Bears. They do bear things like lose games they should be
Collapse.
winning. Yeah.
And then you saw the missed field goal. I was getting flashbacks of the double doink. You remember
Yeah.
that from years ago? And look at this storyline, man, with JJ. This is all they were talking about before the game. You know, he grew up outside of Chicago, and this was his first NFL game as a young Bears fan, which they show the picture of him there when he was a kid, right? He was a massive Bears fan. He has memorabilia and all this stuff that he collected over the years. Now he comes back to play in his hometown as a starting QB for the Minnesota Vikings. And he gets the dub, man. And what a great way to start your career as a starting QB, right? Come back in your own hometown and you get the dub. You get the win.
It's got to be
it's not as a Bear quote. Huh? Go ahead.
It's got to be a dream, man.
It is, man. Great storyline.
It is a great storyline. And, you know, some of these young quarterbacks get it right away, and some have to be a slow burn. A slow burn we're going to see Monday night here in Houston, because you're going to have Baker Mayfield, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, taking on the Houston Texans there, CJ Stroud, right? Baker Mayfield was somebody who needed to be seasoned for a little while, played for a crap organization, but it took a while for him to develop into the quarterback that he is now. And he's not elite, but he's good. I'd be afraid to play against a Baker Mayfield team because the guy's just a baller. But you look at other quarterbacks out there, you know, Justin Herbert's finally playing, you know, winning football. But there's other quarterbacks. Should we expect quarterbacks to just come in and take the world by storm? CJ Stroud did his first year, but has regressed ever since. Bryce Young wasn't able to do it. It just seems like the quarterbacks that are newer these days take a while, Joe, to develop. That they're not
What
like
about Jaden over there with the Commanders?
For every Jaden Daniels, there's like 6 Caleb Williamses.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to get one. It almost seems as though, this is where I sound like an old man. It almost seems as though Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, the Aaron Rodgers era, were more NFL ready coming into the league than the young guys coming in now.
And look at
Maybe
this.
I'm wrong.
Look at this stat that they put up here, courtesy of the NFL. They said J.J. McCarthy is the first starting QB with 10-plus fourth quarter comeback, 10-plus points in the fourth quarter in the comeback that he had in his NFL debut since Steve Young did this way back in 1985.
Wow.
And what a stat, you know? I mean, I'm not saying that the kid's going to be as good as Steve Young, but he just had a good game, you know? And he brought his team back into the game, and they won. And we got an incoming super chat here from the Drew Show. Thank you, Drew.
Money talk. Here comes the money.
There you go, Mike.
Yeah, it says that the Giants are tanking. Let Russell Wilson get smashed. Seems like sound strategy. Giants have no offensive line, can't run, can't pass, can't block, save dart. Hey, there's something to be said about standing on the sidelines for a little while. Famously, back in the day, Steve McNair stood behind Cody Carlson and Chandler to start his career, right? Because it was a thing to draft somebody, Joe, stash them for 2 or 3 years, have them go to camp, have them hold the clipboard, and then blossom into a player, right? You'd have a Drew Bledsoe starting, and Tom Brady would not take over unless something got hurt like Bledsoe, right? I'm not saying that it's bad strategy, but the thing is, what are you tanking for? Because NFL teams don't tank for offensive linemen. NFL teams don't tank for running backs. You tank for quarterbacks and quarterbacks only. So
I don't know, man. Sometimes you if you're like the Cowboys, what did they do? They didn't have a good record, and who did they get? Who did they draft? Micah Parsons, right? Somebody on the defense that could make a difference. And they traded his ass, you know. But I mean, I understand what you're saying. Like, if you're gonna tank, you're gonna tank for a player who's going to be able to change the dynamic of your franchise. And usually that's what? A quarterback. So I agree with you on that part. Oh, and we do got an incoming super chat from the Drew Show.
Oh,
Here comes the money.
This is for you, Mike.
clarify, Mike. Did you say Wilson is Hall of Famer? It's a Hall of Fame in the sense of like you just want to hold your nose and go, I guess so. I guess so. But I do like the comment that Tony Nellis made, who had a better career, Sierra or Russell Wilson,
Russell Wilson
by
He
5
says-
yards. I don't know, man. I like 1-2 Step, man. That's a good song, baby. That's a good song. No, but just going back to Drew's point, though, can you ruin a Hall of Fame career by sticking around too long? We saw this with Greg Popovich. I mean, obviously, he's a Hall of Famer before he even retired. But, like, what is the last memory of Greg Popovich? Was it him riding off into the sunset in 2014 the way he should have? Or was it 6 losing records in a row and him having a stroke?
Yeah.
The lasting image there. What's the lasting image we have of David Robinson? 2003, right?
Going out like a champ.
Holding up the trophies like this, right? He and Tim Duncan.
Yeah. I remember David Robinson going immediately and hugging his boy, picking up
Yeah.
his kid and then turning around. Same thing like Tim Duncan did, when he picked up his kids and stuff. And they just turn around, the camera's on him. And then they show the infamous picture of him holding up the trophies, That's how you want to be remembered. You want to be remembered as what, Mike? Going out on greatness, right?
Right.
You won, you're a champion.
Well, because there's some NFL players and some coaches in whatever league or whatever athlete, whatever league that they're in, have a hard time hanging them up.
If Pop would have left in 2014, he would have been remembered as what?
The GOAT.
Champ.
By everybody.
He left as a champ, right?
By everybody. And the lasting legacy of some players of them and some coaches of them hanging on for dear life is just brutal. It's brutal to watch, dude. It's brutal to watch a fastballer pitcher only get it to 91. It's brutal to watch. Like I enjoy the fact that we never saw Tim Duncan suck. Was he as good at the end? No. But we knew that he could muster up the courage and muster up the game every once in a while for us for have a throwback night, right? But he didn't wet the bed. He didn't embarrass himself.
He wasn't bad, but he wasn't great.
Right. Tony Parker going to Charlotte, right? I mean, it's like, dude, it was over. It's over.
I can still play, but I can still play.
Emmitt Smith playing for the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh,
remember that? Remember that?
And then he had the bum shoulder after that because he stayed too long,
Right. They have a hard time giving it up. It's no different than those in the military who have a hard time giving up the uniform. And it's I respect those like Rob Gronkowski who were like, dude, it's not going to get any better for me now. I've won chips. It's time to be done with. Dude, I respect Andrew Luck, man. 29 years old and was like, I'm done. I'm out. I don't care about the Hall of Fame career. I made it to the NFL, but I want to have a life. I don't want to be jacked up with CTE. It's interesting. Now, JHNSB is asking the question about Wemby and Hakeem working. Joe, go to my Twitter account, Joe. I just retweeted a photo. It was a post that somebody posted out there on Twitter saying that Wemby is collecting infinity stones.
No, mom. Wemby way. Come on.
Let's look at the 4.
What's he doing?
Well, let's go through every photo, Joe.
What's he doing?
There he is with NBA legend Hakeem Olajuwon.
Well, he's holding the ball. He ain't working out. There's no video.
He's holding a ball though, and there he is with the monks.
And then he stayed with the monks. What did he learn from them, bro? How not to shoot at the top of the key? To be a man and go inside the paint?
Inner peace.
No mames con eso, bro. There was a commercial that they shot, right? That they're
Jamal
playing
Crawford?
on social media. Get ready because the Spurs are coming. They put that out there. They're coming out full throttle. Watch, we hooping.
Yeah.
No, God, man.
Ah, there he
That's a
goes with Kevin
commercial.
Garnett.
I'm surprised they didn't. I don't like this picture because they didn't show him wearing his slides. He ain't out there working out with slides, bro. Come on.
So JHNSB asking the question, did y'all cover Dylan Harper's injured thumb, injured trying to block Castle's dunk? I was talking to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5. I'm going to be on today's episode. That is like conspiracy theory. That is like Spurs fandom that he got hurt trying to block Castle's dunk. First of all, Joe, there's not one player in the NBA that could have blocked that dunk. It was a putback dunk. When I heard, oh my God, did you see Castle dunk on Harper? I thought Castle had the ball at the top of the key, just took it to the hole, just dunked on his ass. No, it was a putback dunk off of a rebound that went to the right, and he dunked it in, and Harper was under the basket. And there's no image of it. Nothing was even touched. That whole conspiracy theory about that's how Dylan Harper got hurt is so stupid. It is so stupid. $10 super chat coming in.
Yeah, we got a $10 super chat from the Drew. Thank you, Joe. Drew Show, appreciate you,
Here
man.
comes the money.
There you go.
It says everything about Pop's ego and fake persona that God had to take him out of the coaching chair. Being the face of the Spurs, just saying, how many times did he say it's just basketball, really?
If it was just basketball, why did he take that mic away and say, he, in my Matt Lerma voice, leave Kawhi alone? You know, come on, man.
That was when you knew it was time, dude. That's when you knew when he was Homer Simpson's dad, screaming at the clouds. That's how you knew it was time for him to go.
He was an old sled dog, right? So when you're an old sled dog in Alaska and you're pulling that little cart, that sled, and you get hurt, and there ain't no coming back for that dog no more. They take him out for his last ride. They take him out into the wilderness, the little bushes out there.
Yeah.
Boom. And then he comes back. Guy comes back, and what happened with the dog? What's his name?
Yeah.
Gone.
The old yellered his ass.
Yeah. His name is gone.
And for all the things that we talk about Jerry Jones, the things that he did right, the things he did wrong, the best thing that he did was he fired Tom Landry. Might not have been popular. It might have been wrong tact. He lied to the people saying that he was considering various things and all that stuff. But Jimmy Johnson was already in the building, right?
Oh, they were having lunch at that Mexican restaurant, and they were talking about Tom Landry, and he said, "Fire his ass,"
because Tom Landry was too old to coach. And that's the thing about Pop is that Pop became so powerful within the Spurs organization, and you had all these Spurs fans who were like, "Oh, he can stay as long as he wants to stay," which is stupid. It's stupid. That I would say, out of all the Spurs fan comments that I've seen over the years, the number one stupidest one was Pop deserves to stay for as long as he wants to. No, you can't,
bro.
In the NFL, in the NBA, in Major League Baseball, you are hired to be fired. That's how it works.
How are you able to retain your job if you've had nothing but 6 losing seasons in a row?
Mm-hmm.
How?
Yeah.
Because why? You have control or power inside the organization where they have that gentleman's agreement with RC and all the other guys.
Right.
I mean, come on. If it was anybody else, they would have gotten rid of his ass real quick.
So,
who's on the clock now? Mitch Johnson, because you know why? He needs to win, and he needs to win now. Because you know what? If he doesn't win, he doesn't have the accolades or the power of Coach Pop. And what's going to happen to him if he doesn't win?
No, because even if he has a losing season this year, he's still going to be the head coach. Because
How
you're
many
not going to
losing seasons before he loses his job?
3. Because the Spurs can't have a young coach out there and only trot him out for 1 year. Because this is his first year. I know he
better win.
I know he coached 77 or 76 of the games last year. This is still his first year because this is the first time he's been able to create his own coaching staff. The first time he's been able to have his own camp, be part of the draft and all that stuff. This is his team now, Joe. And you can't say, okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of a young coach after one season, because then no one's going to want to coach here, Joe. Why have the trigger finger on like that, Joe? But
Wasn't that the thing that happens in the NBA nowadays? Like, if you're not winning, they fire your ass.
yeah, but they actually give you at least 2 or 3 seasons to figure it out, Joe. No one's being bounced after 1 year, Joe.
We'll see.
Wemby, again, with the Monks, Wemby out there with Hakeem Olajuwon. What do you think? Okay, because if you're going to be working out with Hakeem Olajuwon, let's say that's actual truth, right?
Okay, I'm going to show the picture back up as you're talking. Go ahead.
Let's say that that's true. What do you want him to learn from Hakeem Olajuwon? Do you want him to learn?
Grow a pair of nuts and play in the paint, bro.
Do you want him to learn more offensive side of the ball or defensive side of the ball from Hakeem Olajuwon?
He needs to learn both. He's gifted when it comes to defense, right? But when it comes to his offensive game, you have to be more than just a one-dimensional player. You don't want to be known as, oh, I'm the alien. I'm the biggest guy out there. I'm the tallest guy out there. I got all this length, this speed and athleticism for a person of his size, and you refuse to play inside the paint. You know, I'm hoping that Hakeem will show him, hey, I'm a big man myself. I learned the dream shake. I learned to live inside the paint. I also had a good offensive game. I could hit a jump shot. You know, I could do a fadeaway. And he had longevity in the league. Maybe some of that will go ahead and rub off on Wemby. You know, don't play scared. You're going to be the leader of this team. You're generational. Prove it.
Again, he is younger than Tim Duncan, younger than David Robinson when they first became a Spur. That's just mathematical
I'm
fact.
giving
Joe.
him a pass anymore, bro.
At the end of this year, he'll still be younger because Wemby came to the league at the age of 19. Duncan had 4 years of college. Robinson had 4 years of college and a 2-year deferral. He is still younger than those guys ever were when they laced him up for the Spurs, and he's already an all-star. But one thing I see from this photo, Joe, he's got some definition on the arms. He's got some muscles in the shoulder.
But is he going to play inside the paint, or is he going to be shooting from top of the key?
This might prepare him better for making his way a little bit more inside.
He's got to go and play.
You need to have that.
Take the mentality and look at the guys that you're playing against. And just get mad, get angry, go in there and act like they're talking about your mama.
This physique right here, Joe, it's a little David Robinson-ish.
No, bro.
Not. It's not a.
Stop the cap. You made me get so angry, bro. I hit
It's not a finished product yet. But what I am saying is that the way the definition is coming in, it's coming in as a what's it called? The muscle looks a lot more like David Robinson physique than Tim Duncan physique is all I'm saying.
With this type of physique, you think he's going to show up against the marquee matchups that that are going to be happening in the NBA when he goes up against the upper echelon talent with that physique, or is he going to fade like he always does?
Well, like he always does. He's 20 years old, Joe. Locked on NBA right now, ranked their top 100 players in the NBA, and Locked on NBA has Wemby at number 7. I believe he'll be a top 7 or 8 player this year as well. I believe he'll be a top 3 player probably at the end of next season when it all comes down to it all. But he looks good, dude. He looks good. He's doing some lifts, Joe. He's doing some lifts. Joe, I survived the potential weight gain in San Antonio this past weekend. I got on the scale before the show. I weigh the exact same as I did last week because I've been losing some weight. And I get scared when I go to San Antonio, Joe, because I drink way too much in San Antonio, and I did this past weekend. But I didn't eat a lot. It's probably why I got drunk so fast.
Look at Tony and Alice. What was I doing when I was 20 years old? I was working hard. I moved out. Had to pay those bills, man.
So Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5 is going to have Johnny Moore on in the next couple of days or so, if not today, couple of days or so. former Spurs legend. His number is retired at the rafters. He addressed my tall tale as to whether or not I had something to do with him having his jersey retired. So I want to thank Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs. He says, I can't wait for you to listen to that. Drew Show with a $2 super chat coming in.
Yeah, let's go and play. Thanks, Drew.
Here comes the money.
Says Wemby is 22 in January, so 21 already. Duncan was 21 as a rook. Okay, so still younger than Duncan was when he first came in the league.
Tony Ordales. Was there videos of you working hard? No, but I had a check that said I worked hard because I got paid.
So Drew say more Jimenez facts. Well, the fact of the matter is that Wemby was an all-star at a younger age than when Tim Duncan first laced him up, than when David Robinson first laced him up. That's fact. And he would have won Defensive Player of the Year if it wasn't for the deep vein thrombosis.
Tony show videos of you working hard,
Yeah.
Joe, at age 20. I don't know, man. They only had those, was it the closed circuit cameras? The
Yeah.
security cameras? Back then, we didn't have no social media or smartphones.
Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs has just put on our chat powered by PF Chang's Lacatera that the Johnny Moore episode is already out. So let's see if he bags on me when it comes to it. I'll be on Locked On Spurs. I recorded an episode with Jeff rather, talking about all sorts of things involving the Spurs. Dylan Harper's injury. We talked about some roster moves, like who benefits from Dylan Harper's injury. We also got into Gina Ortiz-Jones, and I had a hard time controlling my anger, Joe. I can't stand the woman. I can't stand her. She hates the Spurs.
She hates the Spurs, and you know what was funny is that they have all these things going out on social media now, right? And you saw that rally, right? I think you retweeted it. I think I saw it on your X, and you were saying, "How old are these people? What's the average age? Somebody's abuela, tias out there, wilding." You know, I'm going to show. Here it is. This is courtesy of Puro, Michael Carlos. He does great work, man. By the way,
Anthony Curran.
Yeah, give him a follow, man. We call him Puro. We like to poke fun, but he's good at what he does.
Show that middle photo. Why is there a monk over there, or whatever that guy is, man? I mean, but
what's the average age of these people that showed up, bro?
Yeah, how many of these people own businesses? How many of these people employ people? How many of these people?
The front row looks retired. Let's be honest, right? And
Yeah.
not only that, how many of these people actually have attended a Spurs game, or have even gone to the Frost Center to enjoy a concert, right? Anything like that. These are the same people that complain that, hey, I can't afford to go to a game because it's too expensive. You know, but they're gonna go ahead and drop $60, $80 on a bottle of tequila. No mames, dude. Come on.
No, these are all Michelob Ultra people. No, not Michelob Ultra. These are Schlitz peoples.
Schlitz. Colt 45. A Mickey's. Let me get a Mickey's at 97 cents.
They drink box out of, they drink Franzia, the wine in a box.
That's gross, bro. The box wine, that's disgusting. But look, I mean, come on, man. What are they gonna do? They're gonna have the bus roll up.
I know.
Get them all in there.
They are John Dyer, exit 7. John Dyer comes out and says that they rallied all these people up from the local Lubies.
They bribed them. They say, "Hey, man, you go and show up to this. We'll give you a free Luann platter."
They got bribed with a Luann, man, and an extra roll. That's funny. You know what? You know what? I mean, Luby's is okay for lunch. I mean, it's all right. If you really want to have a good lunch, Joe, you go to PF Chang's La Cantera. They power the chat. They are the sponsor of the Area 210 podcast.
What happens
PF Chang's
tomorrow,
La
Mike?
Cantera. Tomorrow is Wednesday Wines Day. Half off bottles of wine and champagne, but you can go there for lunch today. You can go there for happy hour because they have happy hour every day from 6 to 9. Go visit Sean. Let's get some love to PF Chang's La Cantera.
PF Chang's La Cantera, San Antonio's premier destination for dinner, date night, or happy hour. Enjoy one of their signature dishes, such as the Singapore street noodles, sesame chicken, or Chang's spicy chicken, or their infamous Chang's chicken lettuce wraps, which are delicious, by the way. You can enjoy all this while you're dining in an Asian-inspired atmosphere. And make sure to enjoy the new outdoor patio and try some of P.F. Chang's signature cocktails and drinks during happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. P.F. Chang's La Cantera is a proud sponsor of the Area 210 podcast.
Yeah, they do an amazing job, man. P.F. Chang's is some good food. I love the lettuce wraps over there. The Japanese old fashions, all of it badass. Go check it out, man. P.F. Chang's La Cantera. They have locations all over the country, but we are sponsored by the ones at La Cantera, which, by the way, did you know that La Cantera Mall, Joe,
Yeah.
next week is turning 20 years old? How's that place 20?
It doesn't seem that old. When you go there, it looks barely new, you know?
Yeah.
It's fresh, you know? It's
'Cause they've had
probably
some. They've had some expansions and all that stuff, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it seems like they have new stores and new restaurants all the time. You know, I sent you something on the media share right now, Joe.
Yeah.
I showed this to Chica. Talk about things that are old, but you don't realize that they're old. Do you remember the band 311?
Yeah.
Okay, 311 was known in the early to mid 90s for a lot of hits. Like Amber was a great song. Down was a good song. I liked 311. They were a good band. I'm looking at my Spotify love song, All Mixed Up. Great
What
song,
do you mean
right?
they were a good band? They're not
They
good
still
no
are.
more, bro?
They still are. They're back on tour, right?
Yeah. They've
And
been on tour.
this dude's almost 60 years old. That's the singer of 311. And I was showing this to Chica, and Chica
Let's
was like,
hear him.
how's this guy 60
bad.
years old, man? He's like 58, okay? So Chica's looking at that going, that dude's 58? She's like,
Great shape, man.
yeah, she's like, he tight. like there's no like loose skin. So I looked up what he looked like in the 90s. In the 90s, he was in shape in the 90s, but he wasn't all ripped. What kind of workout is he doing? He's working out next to Jeff Garcia from Locked On
He's getting
Spurs.
those testosterone injections, man.
Dude, some of the comments though were like, "Hey man, you guys got to settle down. We got wives on this app."
Hey, we got a new super chatting coming from the Drew Show.
Here comes the money.
There we go.
It says it's a math equation. If there are 300,000 people in San Antonio over 70 and half vote with Gina, that's 150,000 votes, more than voted for mayor. Wave bye to the Spurs. That's the fear that the Spurs would leave if it didn't work out. But there's still time when it comes to it also. Even if there's a failed vote, there's nothing to say that it can't be voted on again the following year or whatever the case may be. But you have to ask yourself the question, what side of town are these people from? Because when you look at that photo, Joe,
Yeah.
everyone looks like they're from the west or south side or east side.
What do
And
I
what are the three areas of town that don't vote? The west side, south side, and the east side. None of those people live in Sonterra. None of those people live in Stone Oak. None
No.
of those people live in Alamo Ranch. None of those people live in the northeast side. None of those people live north of 410. That is inside the 410. It's all they are.
Look at some of these comments, dude. Look at what Puro says. He goes, honestly, he says the vibe was militant with a hint of religious fantasism. They're organized. Their turnout was good. Cops/Metro isn't messing around. So you know what? This is a small faction of the voters that are going to go to the poll. You know who doesn't go and vote? The young people, the ones that are going to be able to make a difference here when it comes to Project Marvel. This is going to be something that they're going to have to go out and vote for. If they want to go ahead and bring San Antonio into the modern era, you got to go out there and vote because this is your competition.
And that's it. That it's being put in the modern era. I've had some people who are supportive of Gina Ortiz-Jones come out and say we wanted to keep San Antonio lame, and they're being serious, Joe.
That's stupid.
They
You know
don't
what that
want the
is?
city to grow.
That's a poor mentality. That's
It
a
is.
poor mentality. Like, why wouldn't you want your city to act like it's the seventh largest city and be brought into the modern era? If you want nice things, and people say, I want to keep San Antonio puro, and I want to keep San Antonio the way it is, and I want it to have a small town feel. Why can't it have that same, vibe, that same aura, but have nice things? You want to have the opportunity to host another NBA All-Star weekend? You think that's going to happen with the facilities that we have now? No.
They got
They
mad.
want the NCAA back, right? For the
So-
Final Four. Is that going to happen with the facilities we have now?
No. And some people got mad at me for saying this, but poverty is not culture. Poverty is not a culture. And to keep it puro and all that stuff, what does that mean? Like exactly what do you mean? You want it to
keep
be
it
poor? You want to keep it
You know,
poor?
like,
That's not culture. Super Chat coming in. He's requesting the Sitco guy.
Money
He
talk.
says,
Here comes the money.
he says, laugh it up, Mice. You can lose all the other demos in San Antonio. And if they turn out at 20%, which is high, Spurs are gone. Sitco guy. Spurs aren't going to be gone if they lose an election because there'll be another election behind it 6 months later to a year later, right? But he did request a Sitco guy, so let's give him some Sitco guy love.
there we go.
Oh, me pegan toda la pura verga. Me tapan a la verga. Mira.
This is what I was going to reference to. We had something else that came out here, and I think it was either on your X or I had reposted this. But, oh, yeah, I reposted this. So look at what happened here. There's a similar situation that's going down here, right? So I'm going to show this on screen right now. And this could be what the Spurs' future holds, right? The people of San Antonio say, you know what? The Spurs have a facility. They want them to stay over there at the Frost Center. There's nothing wrong with that. It's dated, it's old, and it's the price of having a professional sports franchise. Every 30 years or so, you have to give them a new facility to play in because it gets dated. It gets old, right? The city here and the Bears couldn't come to some type of an agreement. Look, the Bears have announced they are officially pursuing suburban Arlington Heights for a dome stadium. And the reason behind that, the team had plans to build a $4.7 billion downtown stadium near where? Soldier Field. But the project has run into significant political and community obstacles. Could the same thing happen with the San Antonio Spurs? If they don't go, let's say, get a deal done downtown with this Project Marvel, where would they go and build a new facility? You think they're going to want to build one here in San Antonio? Where's the room? Where are they going to build it? You know where it's going to be built? In between Austin and San Antonio. And that's going to be a big, how you doing, San Antonio?
Yeah, the area that, to me, that screams this is where you build a Spurs arena, if San Antonio doesn't build it, is Circuit of Americas. Which
is that here in San Antonio? No.
Nope, that's in South Austin. And Circuit of Americas is not in Austin proper, but it's kind of like where the Cabela's is, because you have enough space. You have enough space to do it because you need to have land access to it all, right? And then maybe that's the backup plan when it comes to it all. But Joe, we'll see how supportive people are of Project Marvel, of the new Spurs arena, when the season starts. Because again, the season's going to start 2 weeks before the election. And I think that's the time the city of San Antonio and the Spurs need to galvanize support for that. The people come into the Frost Bank Center and you bring signs that say, build the arena. Because the people that are going into the stadium, I'm sure are going to want to have that, right? Because all those cops, Metro Alliance people, who, by the way, they never win elections, Joe.
No.
Well, they never win elections. I mean, they win elections in the sense that the foregone conclusion ones. But dude, I wouldn't want Cops Metro Alliance to be a supporter of me if I was a politician. But
what's
Joe,
going to happen here, Mike? With what's going on in Chicago, is it going to be a mirror of what's going to happen here in San Antonio? That's my biggest fear, because look at what happened with the people here, right, in that downtown area. $4.7 billion is a lot of money to build not only a stadium but also like like a sports event center, right? An
Mhm.
area where you can congregate. You can have hotels. You're going to have the arena there. You're going to have what? You're going to have places to eat, things to do, bars. You're going to have restaurants pop up shop there. You're going to have a nice area to congregate in. And after, the Bears aren't playing, it's still an area that's going to be popping on a weekend, right?
Right.
There's things to do, things are happening. Why wouldn't you want that in your city? And I'm not just talking about our age group, but people that are like my son's age, right? The 28s, 30-year-olds. Why wouldn't they want something like that in their city?
You know, they should want to have that because they should want to have a life, and have something fun to go back on. If you go to Chicago, where Soldier Field's at, that's a historic place. It's old,
Yeah.
but the last time I was there, it's not friendly necessarily to a lot of things to do out afterwards, right?
No.
Wrigleyville's different. Wrigleyville, because they have Wrigley Park, Wrigley Field, but then they have the Wrigleyville, all the bars and restaurants and hotels that come out
The
of Wrigleyville.
entertainment district. Yeah.
The Cubs have the entertainment district, not necessarily the Bears.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
You have the field and that's about it.
right.
Soldier Field. That's it.
Exactly.
It's like the Frost Center, right? You go and watch the game, and what do? Get the hell out of Dodge as fast as you can.
Right. And all those Cops Metro Alliance people aren't going to be at the Frost Bank Center watching the game because they don't go to the games. They don't care about the games. They probably can't afford to go to the games. So F them.
And look at the Drew Show. He says live events, bring everybody, not just tourists downtown. That's what Project Marvel hopes to do. It's more, and you see the stupid thing that Gina Ortiz Jones is trying to spin for her own narrative. It's all about a Spurs arena. No, it is not. And she
Right.
knows this. She's lying to every single voting person in San Antonio right now. All the constituents here, the voters. Because it's more than just a Spurs arena.
Right.
It's more than that. But she focuses on it's the city and the county versus the Spurs. The voters are going to have to pay twice. That is a lie.
It is a lie, and no one calls her out on that. They say that she's misspeaking, or no, you're lying. You are lying. And on top of that, I was talking on Locked On Spurs with Jeff Garcia about name another entity that she is asking for ownership of by getting city tax dollars going in the direction. Because city tax dollars go towards USAA, they go towards Toyota, right?
Big
Toyota,
companies, tax breaks.
tax breaks,
Yeah.
tax incentives, and all that stuff. Is she going out asking for ownership of those companies, or is she only do that to the Spurs?
She's only doing it to the Spurs. She's not asking the Toyota plant, hey, we need a cut of the profit. You're on our land.
Right.
Like,
We
come
gave
on,
you- we-
man.
Yeah. She's an effing idiot, dude. She's an effing idiot. She's not from here, dude. $5 super chat coming in.
From Mario Cavazos.
Here comes the money.
Says the Spurs need to pay Manu to make an endorsement commercial. Puro pinche Spurs.
Hey, Manu was out
Dude,
there speaking.
The commercial is already made in the sense that just cut clips of Sean Elliott's plea to city council. It's already there. He said everything that you need to say. I'm Sean Elliott and I endorse this message. I am Tim Duncan. I endorse this message. You know what? Shame on Tim Duncan. Shouldn't Tim Duncan be on the front of this?
They need to
shouldn't-
bring them all out.
We saw Sean Elliott get in front of this in support of this new arena. Shouldn't David Robinson and Tim Duncan and Manu and Tony Parker be in front of all this as well?
You know
Shouldn't
what? I got
Wemby-
it. I got it. And this is what the Spurs need to do. They need to go out there and they need to show a video. And they need to show video of what's around right now. The Frost Center, right?
Right.
Go back and be like, revisionist history almost.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not repeat the past. Let's propel San Antonio into the future. This is what happened years ago. This is what's going to happen now. Vote yes to Project Marvel. That way you can go ahead and bring San Antonio into the future. And you can have this sports and entertainment district that's more than just the Spurs, and the Spurs need to spin it in. We're investing not only in our fans, but in our community. We want to go ahead and bring San Antonio into the forefront, right? We're going to act like the seventh biggest, largest city in the nation, you know?
You know, it's disappointing that there's some people out there who don't want others to benefit from certain things. The East Side community who's pissed off that nothing was built over there. Well, guess what? No one wants to go to the East Side. I'm sorry, nobody wants to go to the East Side. They're not going to build this because no one wants. They're not going to build some on the West Side because no one wants to go to certain parts of the West Side or certain parts of the South Side. Those South Side's not going to come up. The idea of, well, you promised on this side of town. The Spurs are not business.
Yeah.
Restaurants have to decide whether or not they want to go there. Hotels have to decide whether they want to go there. And if they say no, we don't feel like it's safe, guess what? It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's just it's so disappointing to see so many people who are young, who are who go to an occasional Spurs game, be indifferent about the Spurs. The city, the Spurs lose, the city of San Antonio loses to the Spurs, a big part of our identity is gone.
Yeah.
A big part. And a big part of our history is gone. And San Antonio would cease being a major city at that point. Can you imagine being the seventh largest city in the United States without one professional sports franchise?
And not only that, but not being able to have a big draw come to the city, San Antonio is known as one thing, and that's, for its tourism, Riverwalk and whatnot. But more importantly than that, San Antonio is also known as a big convention city, right? There's a ton of conventions. Henry B. Gonzalez Convention Center was built to what? Bring in these big conventions. That way they can pump more money into the economy and bring more tourists here to San Antonio. Because when people come, and it's, mostly business, they're going to go and dine right in the restaurants at the Riverwalk. They're going to enjoy, some of the city's offerings when they have free time. And that brings money into the city. But if you want bigger draws like you want, and everybody's been complaining for years, why don't we have another NBA All-Star game come back? We don't have the facilities to house such an event. If you look at the Alamo Dome, it wasn't built for that. It was built for football, not necessarily for basketball. And while it can house a basketball event, it's not built for that. They need something different. You need to be able to showcase what San Antonio really can be. And I think that's what Project Marvel aspires to do, is show what the possibilities are for the future of San Antonio.
I know the metropolitan areas are different, right?
Yeah.
Than the actual city size, right? Because the number one city, according to estimates from the Census Bureau in 2024, was New York City has 8.47 million people. Los Angeles, 3.8. Chicago, 2.7. Houston, 2.4. You get down to San Antonio. San Antonio is number 7 behind Philadelphia and in front of San Diego, in front of Dallas. 1.526 million people. I'm going down the list of U.S. cities to find the one that doesn't have a major sports franchise for whatever reason, right? So that would be MLB. That would be
soccer.
Soccer's not a real professional league.
Come on, Mike.
Babe, dude, no one gives a shit.
NBA, NFL, MLB.
NBA,
hockey.
NBA, hockey. I'll even include hockey, right?
Yeah, there you go.
San Antonio. Okay, so the number one city that doesn't is Fort Worth, but Fort Worth has the Dallas Cowboys 20 miles away, so that's not. I'm not going to count
the Metroplex. Yeah.
Right. Going further down, Joe. You know what the top city is that doesn't have a major franchise?
Seattle.
Well, Austin, but Austin has UT Sports, and I mean that's equivalent, right?
Yeah.
It's El Paso.
They have the Chihuahuas.
Joe, San Antonio would become, I've said Laredo, we'd be El Paso.
El Paso? But dude. Hey, but we got an incoming super chat from the Drew Show here.
Money talk. Here comes the money.
Let me get that back up there. 1 second here. Drew Show says the Castro twins, Ron Nuremberg and Cisneros, are perfect spokespersons for the arena to counter Gina on shows. but they hold the party line and won't. Dude, I don't think the Castro twins, Ron Nuremberg or Cisneros, even like Gino Ortiz Jones. That it's not. This is not a party line thing, because I know a lot of progressives who can't stand her. I know a lot of liberals who can't stand her. This is a poor versus non-poor issue. That's what it is. I don't think it has anything to do with party line politics. It is poor or non-poor. And believe me, there are a crap ton of conservatives who are poor too. It is a poor, non-poor issue.
They're laughing because I said Seattle as a team that doesn't have any professional sports. Well, they have what? They have a WNBA team, don't they?
Seattle? That's true.
Yeah.
They have the Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean they have that. They have a WNBA team, and they have like a what?
They've got college sports. And
college
they've got,
sports. You know,
Yeah.
I just make fun because they lost an NBA team and the Sonics.
I don't joke about that because we could lose our team as well.
You know, it'd be the irony. I tell you, the San Antonio loses the Spurs, and where do they go? They go to Seattle.
Yeah. Joe, one of the Powerball winning tickets was sold in Fredericksburg, Texas, Joe. 400 million coming their way after tax lump sum, Joe. 400 million. It's a lot of money, Joe.
That is a lot of money. I mean, if you play your cards right with that money and you invest it properly, you can live off of that, you know? But if you're somebody our age and you win 400 grand, it's not going to last forever. You got to invest it right and then invest it wisely.
But this is 400 million, though.
No, 400 million. I mean, 400,000. 400
Okay,
million be able to sustain you. But if it's like 400 grand, you got to invest it, right? And then kind of flip it a little bit. And then when you're a retirement age, all right, then you can go ahead and sit back and enjoy it. But I mean, at 400 grand, realistically, if you're spending, I don't know, let's say between 50, 60,000 a year, you know, maybe even more, because if you like to travel like Mike, and you like to do things, you're going to be closer to 100 grand, right? How long do you think that's going to last? If you're spending like 100 grand and going on trips and doing all these things, less than 3 years, 4 years, it's gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And then what are you going to do?
Make more money.
Yeah.
Gotta make more
Got to
money.
make more money. Or like you said, you want to make more money? What do they got to do? They got to call Mike.
Call me, man. 210-508-0369. 210-508-0369. Let me handle your money. I want to talk to your money. I want to handle your money. I had, you know, I started this business. I started up in this industry 19 years ago. Then I got into management. I restarted my practice during COVID. It's amazing. I counted all the money today, Joe. I counted all the money. 22.3 million is what I invest for people as of right now. That's not bad, Joe. To go from 0 to 22 million over the course of the last 3 years has been pretty good, man. It's been a good run so far. My goal is to get to 100 million.
My kids played the Powerball and they only got like one number.
How many do you need to win? You need 2, right? 2 in the Powerball to win.
Yeah, Powerball, and like if you get so many numbers, then you win so much money. But I mean, it's hard to get every single number, so you can win the big prize. You know, that's next to near impossible. That's why it's always, you know, such a high purse all the time. But I mean, even if you won all that money, I mean, the best thing to do is just stay anonymous, man. Don't come out on social media and be like, I'm the winner. No.
Well, and there are rumors out there, Barstool Sports saying that one of the ones that won a big prize was a UT student. They're trying to see if he actually won the big grand prize. I mean, theoretically, you can go from Austin to Fredericksburg in an hour, right? But it seems as though he may have won the $1 million one, not the $400 million one.
Yeah.
But still, for a 19, 20, 21-year-old student, that's pretty good stuff, dude. Pretty good stuff.
$1 million? I mean, if you're going to school and you're at UT and you have aspirations of making money, and you got a $1 million idea, what are you going to do? You invest that in yourself, you know?
That's right. Tony Donald says, what if Gina called Mike about her money? Well, she better have a lot of money because she's saving it on clothes. Because she wears shit clothes, man.
You're going to tell her, hey, any profit you make, we're going to get you, what do you call that? A wardrobe budget.
Yeah. Did you see that photo of Wemby and Tina Fey yesterday?
No.
I'm gonna find it, Joe. And I think it's with one of the dudes from Harry Potter. What's that guy from Harry Potter?
Oh, God. Daniel Radcliffe.
Okay, I just posted it on Twitter right now.
I'll go check it out.
Now, when you see this photo, who's the first person you think of when you see Daniel Radcliffe?
Harry Potter.
What? No, person, real person.
Real person. When I see Daniel Radcliffe, I don't know.
Look at him,
Looks like he looks like hell, bro. Like a
dude.
homeless.
He looks like James Pledger, Joe.
No, bro. He don't do Pledger dirty like that,
When
bro.
when
He
Ple-
does not.
when Pledger's thrown back about 8 drinks at the Rue Pub, he looks the
No,
same.
man. Come on.
And by the way, if you zoom in on the right hand side, that's Tina Fey, formerly of Saturday Night Live. The actress Tina Fey, right there. This is at the Buena Vista Social Club in New York City. Dude, Wemby's everywhere except for a gym these days.
There's no video of him in the gym, but you have pictures of him all over the place. You know, he's out there having fun.
And you say that you see Harry Potter. I guess you do. I've never seen a Harry Potter movie in my entire life. Or
So
Lord of the
what's he doing
Rings.
here? What's the context of this? What was he doing at this? Was he speaking or
No, it's just I think it's a restaurant.
was he shaking hands, kissing babies? You know?
Well, it's a
I mean,
concert venue. It's a concert venue, if I'm not mistaken, but it's also like a restaurant and stuff like that.
yeah, Wemby. That's Wemby's style right there, bro. He just laid back, chilling, you know, not working out.
Not working out, resting
Working
his
out.
body, Joe. Resting
Hey,
his
man.
body.
Let's see if he can make the full season this time, right?
That's funny, Joe.
He'll do it this time, Mike.
Joe, so I'm watching on Netflix. Love Con. Have you seen any of that?
No.
It's called Love Con Revenge, and it's these women.
The hell is that?
It's called Google image search it if you can. Love Con Revenge. It's these women who got duped out of their money by guys that they met on dating profiles, where the guys
Catfished?
not catfish because they were in relationships with them. They met them, they dated them, they were with them for months or a year or two at a time, maybe even
Okay.
married them. But
They got found out.
they got swindled. All their money was swindled. You know,
Damn.
all their money was taken, and it has these these female private investigators who are hunting them down and trying to confront them and say, "Did you steal this person's money?" People who say that that they suffer from PTSD, that suffer from this and the other, and they need money for medicine, they need money for this and the other, and really they just stole money from the women they were dating, and like they're trying to get police to go after these guys, and Chica's looking at me going, "What did they do wrong? They just lied." She's not supportive of these ladies. She goes, well, problem number one is you don't give a dude any money because, as Chica says, if the dude's asking you for money, he's not worth dating to begin with. But it's kind of funny. These people pose as doctors. It was great, dude. It's not the best TV in the world, but it's an okay TV.
I don't even, you know what, man? I've been so busy. I don't even have time to watch like a lot of TV. I watch sports, you know, because I'll put it on in the background while I'm doing other things. But if I'm going to watch a movie or something like that or a series, I want to be engaged and I want to watch it. Right.
Yeah.
But I've been so busy with stuff going on. I don't even have time like on weekends now because of work. Sometimes I got to take training.
Mhm.
That's stupid. I got to take training on my days off, Mike, on my hours off. They're like, hey, y'all got to get this training done by Monday. Hey, y'all got to do this. I'm like, how is that my fault? Like, we could have done this in the context of us working already at work. And they're like, hey, your homework for the weekend, got to take your training. I'm just like, every time you turn around here working like for a federal job or whatever, you got training all the time, bro. It's ridiculous, dude. Ridiculous.
I don't envy you at all. Not at all. Let's see here. Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs has lots going on his Twitter account. He had mentioned earlier that registration is open for the 2025 Spurs Coaches Clinic on October 4th at the Frost Bank Center. It's from 11:30 to 1:30. It's a free clinic to invite coaches at all levels to register. So for coaches to learn from an NBA coach, it's Jaxson. Interesting. He also posted Johnny Moore's
Oh, here it is. I see it.
He also posted Johnny Moore's episode of Locked On Spurs, an exclusive with the former Spurs legend.
And
His
Mike,
fondest
you were
memories.
saying that it was coming out. It was already out, bro.
I don't know.
Yeah, Mike. Miguelito. That's what I'm gonna call you, Miguelito. When you're giving misinformation like Gina.
Yeah. So, Joe, is Fernandez going to be on Friday?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him yet about
All
that.
right. Because I might, because I'm going to need to be off for the next on Thursday and Friday, FYI.
Okay.
So we're gonna need to have a guest host on Thursday. Yes, Friday I might be able to make an appearance on Friday. I'm gonna be on my way to South Carolina to go to the United States Marine Corps graduation ceremony over there. Chica's nephew graduated from the Marine Corps. So, and then next week I'm working in San Antonio, so I'll be in San Antonio Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Are you gonna be in studio?
I have no idea what my schedule looks like, man. It might be rough. I might have to do it from the Grand Hyatt. I'm not sure.
God, from the Grand Hyatt. Look at that. They're saying load management.
Load man. Dude, Chica and I, all we do is travel, man, and I'm tired. Like I
No.
see in the eyes, man.
Did you see these things that Jeff was posting, dude? He posted this pictures, I guess it is, of Spurs jerseys.
Yeah.
And this is for the Noche UFC event that's going to be taking place here. That Noche UFC event it's expensive, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get that Ticketmaster likes to hike up the prices of the tickets, but you're not going to be able to go and see this for less than like $200-$300, bro. At the Frost Center,
Right.
I mean, you're probably better off. You're going to pay that much. You're better off just seeing it at home, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're so far away from the octagon mic. It's not even worth it, bro. To sit in nosebleed seats. No, I'm good, man. But I mean, the jersey looks kind of nice, you know? I dig it.
I mean, the jersey looks fine. Am I the only one tired of all these jerseys, Joe? Like, I'm just so tired of the throwback jersey and this, that, and the other jersey. It's just like it's too much, man. Like it's starting to piss me off a little bit.
That's what they do when you don't have a good record. What do they do?
Well, I mean, all the teams are doing it, Joe.
But the Spurs do it all the time too, bro. They go ahead and spin you a limited edition T-shirt, or they have a jersey, or they try to do something,
Yeah, I'm kind of indifferent towards it. I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent about like going to these events for UFC. I don't think I'd want to go to a UFC match. Like, I just don't like it. I mean, am I the only person my age who just looks at UFC and thinks it's stupid?
UFC is good, but it's not getting a lot of run. Jeff Garcia's right. He says, Joe, why is SA? He goes, UFC Noche not getting a lot of publicity. I don't think the event sold out, for one, and ticket prices are just sky high. I mean, I'm sure they'll make a thing of it the day of or the day before. They'll have UFC fighters, making the runs around San Antonio and whatnot.
Are there big names fighting out over here?
Not really, dude. I mean, you'll have some names out there, but they're not really, like going on a publicity, let's say, barrage here. You normally see those things out of big UFC fights, where you have the fighters coming into town and they're going to the businesses and whatnot because they're paying, for these appearances. And, there's lines of people waiting to meet said fighters and all that kind of stuff. You don't really see that here in San Antonio,
Well,
Oh, look at this. Is funny.
Could it be that San Antonio's a poor town, can't afford to go?
No. Look at this. Tony Analysis says, all we see is Joe on the show, and he says he works hard, but there's no video too, Sam Salinas. Well, unfortunately, I can't show you video of me working because you don't have a high enough clearance to be in my office while I work. Unless you have a high enough clearance, you can come in. If you don't, can't show you nothing.
Yeah. I work at my cholas half the time, Joe. I mean, half the time I'm just on my computer over here. I'm wearing shorts right now, but for me to handle people's money and to move money around, I don't need to wear a suit. I used to do that every day, Joe, for the first 15 years of my career. Dress
Suits.
shirts, tie, jacket, slacks, all that stuff. Never again, Joe. Never
No.
again. I had a company the other day offer me money to go and work for them. They offered me a really high salary. And they said I had to be in the office from 9 to 6 every day. And that I had an hour for lunch and I had all that stuff. And I said, oh, y'all can go F yourselves. Never going to do that.
Oh man, I forgot to show this yesterday. This was pretty funny. And one of our listeners had sent this in the media share. We didn't share the phone number today, but I thought this was funny. They had pictures of you and the dog, your dog. They put him in the purse. Tacos. And then they showed this one too. Somebody sent this.
A service guy.
Service guy. Oh, bring him into the HEB with you.
Send me that one if you can, man. That's so funny. HEB, by the way, we had mentioned it earlier. HEB is clarifying. They're putting up new signs in some of their new stores. It's the nicer stores, especially the ones in the Austin area. They're putting up signs saying, "Oh, service dogs only," and these are the reasons for it, and blah blah blah. But people are just taking their pets. It's gross.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, I gotta let you go. It's 11:30, and I have to get on the phones. But I have a client meeting right now. I'll let you go, but let's party on tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm partying on tomorrow, and I got to go and let everybody go because I got more training to do.
There you go.
All right.
We'll be back. We'll be back tomorrow. See ya.
See y'all. Bye. Peace.